Hello and welcome to Build. We are live from London and today we're joined by the star swap on the Saturdays for the Strictly Dance Floor. It's Mollie King.
Hello.
If you've got a question for Mollie, either about her time on the Saturdays, a solo career, or the upcoming Strictly stint that she's about to enjoy, then don't forget you can tweet us at Build Series LDN. That's Build Series LDN. Or if you're watching live on Facebook, then just drop a comment in the video that you're currently watching. Mollie King, hello.
Hello.
So good to see you. I'm so excited to talk to you. The single, Hair Down, is out now.
It is.
And let's talk. It's mad.
It is nuts.
It's brilliantly mad, but it is absolutely mad. There's a lot going on there.
There is a lot going on.
How did you feel the first time you heard the song all the way through?
I felt like it was mad, which it is mad. It's completely bonkers in every way that I wanted it to be.
Yes.
So I was there for the whole process. So I actually recorded and wrote with Xenomania, who I did the track with, for a couple of months. So I actually saw the track.
The single.
Oh, there I
Hair
am.
Down indeed.
So I actually co-wrote the song with those guys and saw it all get pieced together. So it wasn't a complete like, whoa, when I first heard it, but it definitely, they had added in all the horns and, you know, the bass line and everything. So I was completely blown away when I first heard it. But when I first heard it, I thought, yes, I can dance to this. And that's exactly what I wanted. So I was like, job done, tick.
You set out making a big song.
Yes.
And that's definitely what you managed.
Oh, thank you.
So what's it actually about for the people who haven't had the chance to listen to it yet?
So Hair Down is basically about literally letting your hair down, going on a night out, just letting loose. It's not about one of those nights where you're, you know, uptight taking selfies. This is literally like out with your girlfriends or your guy mates and you're going to have fun. You're literally going to get on that dance floor and just dance like nobody's watching.
And it's about going for it, basically, isn't it?
Going for it in every way possible.
It's quite a change in direction from your debut solo single.
It is.
Was that a deliberate thing on your part?
Well, I wanted to do something that would get people on the dance floor for the second one. And with Back to You, I wanted to release the most personal song that I had and just really reveal myself to my fan base and to the audience, which is exactly what I wanted to do and what I achieved, I think, with Back to You. And then with this, I just wanted to do a party track, and Hair Down is definitely that.
Which one do you think is most representative of you as a solo star? Because they're two totally opposite ends of the spectrum.
They are, yeah, they're totally opposites. It's difficult because Back to You is very personal lyrically, but I'd say Hair Down probably represents me more as an artist because I just want to do something super pop, feel good, mostly up tempo, you know, some choreography, and I think that's probably represented more in Hair Down.
It's just more fun, isn't it?
It is, yes.
It was produced by Brian Higgins of Xenomania,
Yes.
as you mentioned. Now, everyone who's a big pop fan will know he's got a very meticulous way of working. He
does.
Can you tell a bit about what it's like being in the studio with him? Is it as intense as it sounds?
It's more intense than it sounds.
Oh, God.
It's so basically when you normally go in to write a song, it's normally done in about a day, and you'll go in, the track will normally be there ready, and then you'll write the melody first, and then you'll fit the lyrics in, and you'll chat about what do we want to write about today, and then you just, you know, crack it out probably within a day. Whereas with Brian, you record loads and loads of different bits. And I say bits because they're really, really small sections. So you don't know what would be a verse, you don't know what would be a chorus. You just hear these tiny snippets. And most of the time, they're just melody. There's no lyrics. So you don't really, you can just sing anything you want over it. So complete gobbledygook. And then he then will decide which bit he thinks suits your voice the most, which bit just sounds the most authentic. And then once he's kind of found those bits, then we start writing lyrics. And then we piece it together thinking, okay, that sounds like a good verse, and that bit is definitely the chorus. So it's a bit like piecing together a jigsaw puzzle.
So basically, a Xenomania song is about 20 small songs stitched together.
Exactly.
It sounds like quite an intimidating way to work. Is it like that, or do you still manage to have fun as well?
Oh, you definitely have fun. You definitely have fun, especially when you're laying down the original melodies that have no lyrics, because you can just sing about anything. He's like, Mol, literally sing about anything. All I want to hear is your tone with this melody. So I'll be singing like eggs on toast and baked beans and all these random things. And I'm like, Brian, don't listen to what I'm singing about. He's like, don't worry, I'm really not. So, so yeah, it's definitely a fun way of working, that's for sure.
You worked with Xenomania as well previously with the Saturdays. How different was it working with the same producers but just by yourself?
Well, I felt so lucky to go back in the studio with them because, as you said, with the Saturdays, we worked with them with All Fired Up, and they did another track called Get Ready, Get Set, which was one of my favourite Saturday songs. I always thought it should have been a single.
Thing, I believe you. Take your word for it.
Trust me. Not that my football knowledge is very good at all. But so it's basically just saying, listen, mate, you've been replaced, and now I'm with the new one, and we're getting it on in extra time. So yeah, deal with it.
And the final one I want to ask you is, gonna let my hair down, I just want to dance now, gonna let my hair down. Is it true that you're going to let your hair down?
I sure hope so.
Well, it's down today, and that's all that I was bothered
today,
about.
guys, yeah. I feel like there's a pressure for me to keep it down now for ages. If I wore a top knot, it's just not going to work.
The tabloids will have a field day if you're out there with a scraped back ponytail. Don't go try to come for Ariana Grande, because you need to keep that hair down.
It's firmly down, don't worry.
All right, we mentioned you being in the studio with Xenomania before with the Saturdays. How daunting is it, as a former member of a group, going out there on your own? Is it like, are you used to having 4 people and it's a bit scary, or do you actually find it quite empowering?
It is scary, for sure. And I think, you know, having the girls around it's sort of like a security blanket for each of us, because you know that if somebody says a silly thing, somebody else can jump in and back you up. Or if there's a question that you really want to dodge, you know that one of the other girls will jump in and answer it for you. So it's definitely a security blanket. But the girls, I feel like they're with me all the time, really. I know that sounds silly, but we're constantly talking.
You are very close, aren't you?
We're super close. Yeah, we really are. And we're always on the WhatsApp, always, you know, gossiping still. There's so much gossip to be had on that group. So yeah, I do feel very much like they're still here. But it is more scary doing it on your own. You feel more exposed.
I bet. Can you give me a bit of the gossip from the Saturdays WhatsApp group, by the way? I'll not tell anyone. Pretend these people aren't here. It's just me and you, Molly.
I'll tell you later.
Oh, okay. Is that a promise?
Promise.
Okay. I want to get your opinion on something, because you obviously used to be in a girl group and now you're going solo. Do you find it's harder as a girl to go out there and make it? Because I feel like sometimes when you get a boy band and the guys go solo, they're treated very seriously and it's also arty. And I feel like the girls don't always get that. Is that something that you've experienced yourself, perhaps?
I mean, I feel really lucky that I'm still very much in the Saturdays, and I feel very lucky that I've had that experience, because, you know, to launch as a solo artist now is so difficult. It's really, really hard. So to have been in the Saturdays and be able to launch a solo career off the back of it, you know, I couldn't be asking for a better opportunity. But definitely, I think, you know, look how well One Direction are all doing. It's incredible. And, you know, I don't think anyone has it easy these days. I think for anybody to have success, you have to work really hard. So I don't think it's easier or harder being in a girl band or boy band. I think you just got to work your butt off.
And with a big pop song like Hair Down, and it is, for those who haven't heard it, it's massive. It's like chucking the kitchen sink, the whole lot in there. The kitchen sink, the lav, the shower head, it's all in there.
Frying pan.
The frying pan, whatever you can find around the house, chucked at it. Are you thinking about things like chart positions or anything like that, or is that not something that particularly concerns?
No, not at the moment. I think the chart works in such a different way to when I was, you know, with the Saturdays, it was probably, I don't know, I think it was about 9 years ago that we released our first song. And
it was 9 years ago, I can tell you.
Yes, got it right. And the chart works completely differently now. And it can take months for you to get your peak position. So I think as long as people are enjoying it and I'm enjoying making the music, then that's all I can really ask for.
This is single number 2. Is there an album coming?
Oh, there is.
What can you tell us about the album?
So the album is, again, super pop. There's a real mix on there. There are some more that are sort of towards Back to You, and there's definitely lots that are like Hair Down. But I would say generally it's a really feel-good album. So, yeah, very pop and uplifting.
We've had Nabil on social media saying Hair Down is a great song. Does it feel good to get like a positive reaction from the fans? Is that something that you were concerned about when you were recording it?
Oh, definitely. I always think about the fans when I'm in the studio, because, you know, as you think about what you want it to be, but then I also think about performing it live. And if I can imagine that when I'm performing it live, everyone's going to be singing it with me, you know, doing some of the choreography with me, then I think that I'm onto a winner. So yeah, it's amazing to get that feedback.
Yeah, I'll be watching along. I'll be trying to get my hair down, but there's not a great deal to work with.
You're going to have to grow it now.
I mean, you know what? Wigs. Always the answer.
Totally, yes.
So your schedule is looking pretty jam-packed at the minute, I think it's fair to say.
Yes.
As well as the new single, Hair Down, which is out now, everyone. Mollie is one of 15 people about to hit the Strictly dance floor.
Yes, oh my goodness.
Can I ask, which one came first? Was it the single or was it signing up for Strictly? And did you intend for them to be so simultaneous? Or is that something you're now exhausted and regretting?
No regrets at all.
Of course.
Well, I'd been in the studio from the start of the year for a good couple of months.
Oh, here you are, actually.
Oh, there we go. Can I just say...
Subtle pause.
Exactly. So they said to... can I just defend myself here? They said to us, get into a dancing pose, right? Now, apart from me, there she is, giving it large. God,
Looking
I
amazing,
don't do
though.
subtle, do I?
You know
Literally.
what? Not with a song like Hey Dan. Why would you want to be subtle anyway?
I can't see that anyone else is doing a dancing pose, so now I look like a...
Susan's got her arm in the air, look.
Susan, thank God
Susan's
for
going for
Susan.
it.
Thank God for Susan, because I look like a real keen bean on the end there. I'm not playing it cool at all.
Not naming names, but a couple of these people look like they're waiting for the bus. Look at this. Mollie's on the end giving it a roll, and a couple of them look like they've wandered onto the set by accident.
I know, God.
Would.
Oh, I'm glad they stuck me on the end there, because I look way too keen. I'm way too excited about it. I should have just stood there and tried to act cool for once in my life. Thank you. I need it. Thank you.
Oh, mate, you're not going to need the look, I'm sure. I mean, you are.
I do.
Oh.
I need the luck and I need the votes.
Well, I was just going to say, everyone who comes off Strictly says it's the best thing they've ever done, and that it's the most fun, and that, you all end up like a little family.
Yes.
Obviously, it's early doors for you, but how are you finding it so far?
Oh, do you know what? You do end up as a family, for sure. And I know when Frankie did it 3 years ago, she got so wrapped up in it in the best way possible. And I always remember thinking, God, it does take over your life for that time that you're on it. And I'm completely the same. I feel like I'm becoming completely strictified, and I'm loving the glamour of it, the sparkles, the sequins, the tan. Yeah, I'm loving it. I can't wait to actually learn to dance now. That's the bonus.
What was it that made you want to sign up in the first place? Particularly with
why
the singles
wouldn't
and the
you
can.
want to
Well,
sign up,
exactly.
to be honest? I mean, I've always wanted to do it. And when I saw Frankie do it, and then I went to see her do it on the live tour, that's when I said to management, I was like, right, guys, we've got to fit this in the schedule somewhere. I know it's really busy, but this year, please, can I do it? So, yeah, we just made it work this year. So I feel like it's a dream come true to be on it.
Luke on Facebook, I think I already know the answer to this question. Luke says, how prepared are you for Strictly?
I don't feel very prepared at all, to be honest. I've got the tan on, but apart from that, I really need to learn these moves.
I do think, I've not done Strictly myself, although if anyone's watching, 2018. I do hear that the routines are a fairly important part of it.
I think they are quite important, yeah.
That's the gist I gather. What element are you most excited for when it comes to Strictly?
I really, really want to learn how to dance, to be honest. I mean...
Did you not have much of that when you were in the girl group?
I've had no official dance training, which is the worrying thing.
Right.
So with the Saturdays, you can see it from our videos, the choreography is very limited. It's mostly striking a pose and shaking what you've got.
Well,
That's
we've
pretty
seen you
much
can do
the
that in the
extent.
Strictly picture. So.
Whereas this is full-on ballroom and Latin. So it's a whole new world for me to throw myself into, but I'm so up for the challenge, and I am going to be working on this routine day in, day out, and just giving it everything I've got. I think because I've wanted to be on it so long, I would be really gutted if I went out in, one of the first weeks. I think I would love to get halfway through. That would be amazing.
On that note, are you a particularly competitive person?
I am. Oh. I really am.
Is there
I
a
know.
particular position that you want to get to? Or have you got that in your mind? Or are you thinking, I want to make it this far?
I think I would be really proud of myself if I did get halfway, but you just don't know. It's so difficult, and you can't guess how the audience are going to vote. You just don't know. There are always surprises like Ed Balls.
Yeah.
So
Judge
who
Rinder as
knows?
well. Who could have predicted that? I'm still in shock.
You just don't know. So I think you have to really lap up the experience and make the most of every single day that you're on it.
Who do you reckon might be your biggest competition?
It's so hard to say at this point because all we've done so far is learn the group dance. So
You must have got a little look and gone, oh, not quite, and then you're like, that's what I'd be like anyway.
it's hard to see them as competition at the moment because we're such a tight-knit group. I know that sounds corny. I know it sounds corny.
Is this when the cliches start rolling out and you're like, oh, people were right all along. We are like a family.
No, you are, because we're all petrified. So at the moment, we're literally like, oh my God, I'll support you. Good luck. It's not got competitive at all.
Can I ask though, is everyone petrified? Or is it like, when certain people claim they haven't revised for their exam?
I know.
And they walk in and they've got A stars.
I
and you're
know.
like,
I know.
that sort of thing.
Well, I will soon find out, but I think they are genuinely petrified. Otherwise, I'm just being really gullible. But I think that they are, yeah.
You're fairly near the top of the bookies' favourites to win.
Oh, don't say that.
I was just going to say, how does that make you feel? Does that not give you confidence? Or
No, it makes me feel petrified because I think that because of being in the Saturdays, people will assume probably that I've gone to stage school or that I've been doing ballet since I was 3, which is not the case. I actually went to a ballet class when I was 3. My mum took me along, and the teacher came up to her at the end and said, "Mrs. King, she dances like an elephant, so I think you're wasting your time here."
Oh my goodness!
I know, harsh words to a 3-year-old.
Which ballet school was this?
It was harsh.
Shut down.
So I went and actually played football instead. So I need to learn to be graceful, I think.
Maybe you should pitch some sort of celebrity football show next, and then you can just ace that one.
I don't know
I'll
about
come
that.
second, obviously, with my vast football skills and knowledge.
Exactly.
It's one of the biggest shows on TV, Strictly, undoubtedly. Is that in itself quite scary? Because
Totally.
obviously the people who go on, you've been out of the spotlight for a couple of years since the Saturdays,
Yeah.
and suddenly you're thrown back in, millions of people watching, and millions of people suddenly interested in you and your personal life, as well as, what's going on the show. Is that quite a scary prospect?
Definitely, yeah, definitely. And you've just made me feel even worse about it.
Oh, God, I'm sorry, mate. You'll be fine.
No, it is scary. And I think that when we've been learning this group dance, you can't help but kind of look at each other and be like, we're going to be doing this in front of millions of people on Saturday night. So that definitely is always in the back of your mind. And you try to kind of bat it away, but you can't help but think, oh my gosh, what do I look like doing this move? I just hope that I look half decent, because you don't want to look like a complete wally in front of that many people.
See, I'm used to it, so I'd be fine. I'd go in with, who cares? I'm probably going to fall over, so it'll happen. Is there something you're particularly most nervous about? Is there something that's kind of keeping you up?
Do you know what? This sounds so stupid, but...
I feel like a therapist. Sorry, I'm like, Mollie, what's going on?
You know at the start when they say, Mollie King, and you've got to wave at the top of the stairs, hey, look, you've got to look glamorous. And then you've got to walk down the steps.
In those big heels.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't want to literally just tumble down them and then get up, rearrange myself. I just really want to look graceful doing that bit. And I don't want to forget the routine. But that's why I need a strong man to literally...
Yeah, you on that one. Sorry.
I just need somebody to keep me going with the right moves. If he's holding me there and he's got me, I'll feel a lot better that I'm not going to just spin off out of control.
Is that what you're thinking? Fingers crossed for someone who's got a bit of strength and can just sort of guide you around a bit.
Totally, that's what I need.
And what about the judges? Because they're known for being quite cutting. Craig in particular.
Yes.
I mean, Bruno's all right as long as you can dodge his flailing limbs. But, Craig, is known for being very blunt, very to the point.
I know.
How do you deal with that sort of criticism?
Oh gosh, I don't know. You've got to just go with it, because he knows what he's talking about, and I have no idea what I'm talking about with it. So you've just got to kind of suck it up and accept that what he's saying is right, I think.
I want to quickly talk to you about the Saturday. As you mentioned, it's almost 10 years since the first single, If This Is Love. Mm-hmm. Have you got a particularly favourite memory from when you were in the Saturdays?
Oh my gosh, there's so many. I think when we performed at Wembley on our tour, that was unbelievable. That was just a childhood dream of mine since I've been about 6. So to step out there and say, hello, Wembley, that was unbelievable. That's one of my favourites.
Okay, well, we've actually got a few questions from people in the audience.
Sure.
So who is up first? Hello.
Hi there.
Hello.
So you're obviously wanting to do Strictly. Is there any other reality shows that you'd like to do, like I'm a Celebrity or something like that?
For me, I've always wanted to do Strictly because you're really learning a whole new skill. So for me, I've never really considered another one. No, I think just the fact that I'm learning something new is what's really drawn me to Strictly.
Sorry, Andy on Facebook wants to know, will there ever be a new Saturdays single?
Oh, I hope so. I would love there to be. I would love there to be. Yeah. I mean, I think it would be a couple of years because everyone's really busy doing their own thing, but I would love there to be, yeah.
I mean, do you still talk about getting back together and...
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely something that we would like to do, but definitely in the future.
Oh, amazing. Who is next from the audience? Hello.
Hi, Molly.
Hi.
So during your time in the spotlight, what is the biggest lesson you've learned, and what advice would you give aspiring pop stars?
Oh, good question. I think it would be to trust yourself and go with your gut, because in this industry there's so many opinions, and I think that you have to trust yourself, and especially with things like Twitter, there's always going to be feedback on there, and it's great when you get the amazing feedback, but you can get the negative comments as well. And I think you just have to trust yourself and go with your gut when making decisions, and just keep your friends close to you, keep your original friends close to you. Don't get wrapped up in it, really.
When you get like Twitter comments like that, does it particularly get you? Does it upset you? Or are you now just past the point where that affects you? How do you deal with that?
I don't think you can ever really get to the point where you're just like, meh, it doesn't mean anything. Because part of you will always think, oh, for a second, oh gosh, is that true? But then you have to learn to actually, just like I said, remember why you made the decision and why you've done what you're doing, and stick to your guns, because you know what's best for you. So I think that, every now and then you might get a negative comment, but you've just got to keep moving on. And there's so many lovely positive comments that you've got to think about those instead.
Is that something that you're a little bit concerned about for Strictly as well? Because people have said in the past that it's...
You're making me feel so nervous.
I'm like planting all these ideas, and then I'm like, but you're going to be fine.
I know. Yes, I'm definitely nervous about those. They're going to be like, call that a tango, Molly? But, I'll give it my best shot. Can't win them all.
I think we've got one more audience question. Is that right? Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
If you had to sum up your personality in one dance move, what would it be and why?
My personality in a dance move. I would say, well...
I'm on the edge of my seat.
The move that I always go to, which I really need to stop, especially before Strictly, is the finger point. It's literally like, woo! And it's so uncool. I literally need to put this finger back in the pocket, because I think the judges would really just die if they saw me do that on the Strictly dance floor. I would say maybe like a hair whip. Yeah. Yeah, a hair whip. Yeah.
And also, brilliant plug for the single.
There you go. Hair down, hair whip.
Hair whip, exactly. See if you can get that in the choreo on the live show. I've had one comment on Facebook as well from Adam, who says, when are we going to get a show, or even better, a tour? And then he adds, I demand it, which is slightly intimidating, Adam, but I appreciate the enthusiasm all the same.
Right, so I am literally counting down to do a tour. I mean, at the moment, because I've only released 2 singles, it would be a very short tour. It would literally be she's on and she's off. So I don't think it'd be the best tour right now, but I need to release more singles and have the album out, and then get me on that tour, yes.
I think maybe it's get Strictly out of the way as well.
Exactly, yeah.
You don't want to be literally spending 26 hours a day rehearsing.
Exactly. One thing at a time.
All right, well, Molly, it's been lovely talking to you. I'm sorry we're out of time.
You.
Hair Down is out now, everyone, so get by and get streaming. Give it up one more time for Molly King.
Thank you, guys.